Boom. What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Charging Station Podcast. It's your girl, Tracey Massey of Living My Empowered Life. And I have a special guest, someone who is doing great things. She is an awesome woman. I got to meet her at our business retreat.
Yes.
And we connected not only in business, but also on one of our favorite reality shows. So I got real excited, real excited when I find somebody that watches like 90 Day Fiance and Married at First Sight and all that. So
all of them.
We were there. But Dionne, I am so honored to have you here and excited to have you here and just to let the audience in on your awesomeness. So what I'm going to do, I love to just step back because I could read your bio, but nobody reads a bio better than the person who is living the bio. So
okay.
Introduce yourself, let the audience know who you are and what you do.
Okay. My name is Dionne Reddick, and I am from Orlando, Florida. And I started my business in 2015. I started, and I unintentionally started my business. I went to a natural hair show, and one of the vendors there had body butter. And I tried the body butter, fell in love, bought some, and wanted to order some more after the fact. Went to the website, all the links were down. I wanted this body butter so bad, I called them and left 3 voicemails. Who's still leaving voicemails? Me.
Me too.
Because I needed that body, but like I loved it so much, I was taking it to work, letting my coworkers try it. So I had orders from coworkers and everything. Nobody ever called me back. The site never was up. And so I did like everybody else and went to YouTube University to figure out how to make it, right? And so I knew I needed some shea butter and I needed a mixer. I went and got my mama's handheld, and I went to the hair store and got shea butter from the hair store.
Come on, listen. But no. Let's pause right there. We're going to go back to you. I'm going to let you finish. But let's pause right there. The fact that you wanted this so badly.
I did.
You got started. That's the thing. I think a lot of times we make excuses for what we don't have and we don't get started. Like for me, sitting here in my closet doing this podcast with my phone, I got started.
Yes.
So you go to the beauty supply store, you get the shea butter and your mama's hand mixer.
Yeah.
Keep going.
And you know what? That's a whole word, because I hadn't even thought about it like that. I was just like, who knows how long that shea butter had been sitting on the shelf at the hair store. But that's what I just knew I needed the shea butter, and I didn't know where else to get it from, right? I knew I'd seen it on the shelves at the hair store. And so long story short, I made one batch. Again, this was just supposed to be for me, but because I was at my mom's house using her handheld, she took some of it. And then my brother took some of my mom's. And he loved it and posted it on social media and was like, my sister made this product. Oh my God, it's so amazing. I love the way it feels on my skin, ... Well, in the comments, people started asking me, how could they get it? So initially, again, I did not have a business mindset. I went to law school. Business wasn't my thing, right? I can read a contract in 2.2 seconds flat. Business, no. Okay. So when people started asking me for it, I was like, oh, sure, no problem. I'll make some for you. That's when I stepped my game up and got some inventory, the Dollar Tree. Okay. So
I love it. I love it.
I literally got some little like Tupperware containers from the dollar store. And then they had some like Christmas labels where you could write on the Christmas labels. And so I got those so I could write on it what it was. And that's how I started, right? And then after so many people kept asking for it, and then the original people came back to re-up, I was like, wait a minute, this is costing me some money because I keep making this and giving it away. And so again, still it wasn't the business mindset. I basically said, well, you'll need to give me some money to cover the cost of me making it. That's how I initially started.
Well,
and then I realized something was
At least you did that, because some people don't even get to that point. They're like, well, I'm just giving it, as long as you pay for what it costs me to make it, not
Yeah,
realizing like, you're onto something. You can make a little
yeah,
profit from that. Come on,
yeah,
keep going.
yeah. So it started off with just the body butters. And then, we hear it all the time, but it's so true. Your audience will tell you what they want.
Yeah.
And so eventually one of my clients was like, well, do you have a matching sugar scrub? I was like, I don't, but let's add that to the lineup. And then over time that started happening. I got a social media pages, my Instagram and Facebook. And then I eventually got a coach the third or fourth quarter of 2017. Once I got a coach, that's when things really started to change. And I learned how you do things the right way. It's one thing to have a business, it's another thing to have a business and operate the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And then people started noticing my growth and started asking me to teach them. So what started as not even being a business became a product-based business. And then that business got me into the space of where now I'm a business coach for both products and services, because I do them both. So I can teach on both. So that's how I got to that point. So we have Body Essence by Dionne and Biz Coaching by Dionne.
I love the evolution from the handheld beauty supply store.
Hell,
Body
now we
butter.
got KitchenAids in there, and I
Girl, the
mean,
whole mixes. Look, I've been stalking you on Instagram, and then when I because I follow both of your pages, and I love when you're making the soap now.
everybody loves that.
Oh, because you know what? For me, it's just so relaxing. And then I'm like, I wish I could do that, but I don't have to, because I know people that do. And then the soap is just so pretty. It almost looks like, when I see it pop up on my feed, it looks like I could just lick it. Like, it just looks so pretty
I
and so
told my
good.
son yesterday, I have a limited edition. Every season, I do a new limited edition scent, right? And so the latest one that'll start shipping actually tomorrow, April 1st. But the latest one, I told him, I said, it smells so good. As much as I'm always telling people, because they're like, it looks like it's food, it looks like it tastes good. And I'm like, I wouldn't advise that. I was like, but this soap smells so good. And I used it in my bath the other night. And I was like, should I risk it all and just try to taste it? Should I risk it all? But then I knew, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do
No,
that.
don't do that. Don't do that. But I'm just loving I was about to say elevation. Well, it is elevation.
Yeah,
It is elevation.
it is.
So when you got with your coach
Mhm.
and you started to see how things should be done, or how things should evolve, was that overwhelming for you? Like, tell me what it was like working with a coach for the first time.
Not with that particular coach. So here's my advice when looking at coaches, because this is what I did. So we see so many things on the social medias,
Mm-hmm.
all of the medias, right?
Mm-hmm.
This was back
Mm-hmm.
in the Periscope days, though, before it became so many different outlets. You had primarily Facebook and Periscope.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but the beauty of Periscope is you could literally watch one, then go and watch the next one and the next one, right? And so I found one that kind of spoke my language.
Yeah.
My coach was CC, the six-figure chick before she passed.
Love
And
to.
one thing that I guess kind of drew me to her, she had that Southern drawl, like
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah.
She was from Alabama. I'm from Florida, right? And then she had that country business acumen, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
She still had that country, but she still was professional, right? And I could relate to her
Yeah.
versus somebody that was I don't want to say it, other than other people, right? And then
Yeah.
so what I started doing was every time she went live, I would listen to her live, and she would teach so much in a free live. Like, it wasn't like she would say, come to my live and I'm going to show you how to make a purple pen. And then when you get to the live, she says, well, it's a pen and you need to learn how to make it. And here's how, sign up for my class. No, she would actually say,
Be with
here's
you.
the ink is purple. You can get the ink from here. Here's the tubing is plastic. You can get right? So that when she offered a class, I'm like, if she gave away that much for free, I really want to hear what she has to offer. And then for me, especially in the beginning, she had a lot of low ticket priced items. And because I was funding my business from my paycheck, and literally at the time I was having to make a decision. Do we buy groceries or do we get a class? Do we get a full tank of gas or do we buy equipment, right? Because again, I didn't know anything about business. I didn't know anything about trying to get capital. I didn't know. And so because she had a lower price point, that's where I started. And then I just kind of elevated up her prices just to get better at it. And I can honestly say every time I invested in myself at a higher level, I got so much more from my business that caused my business to operate at a higher level.
Yeah. And you're right about CC. There was not a time that I was on her live or in a class and I didn't learn something. Like when she taught Canva or when she
my
taught
God.
Instagram stuff, I'm like, how? And just to watch her open up a template in Canva
and just
then go and just create whatever. I love the way her brain worked. And I'm like, how did you do
she
this?
come up with this?
It was just like the creativity that she was gifted. It was
Mhm.
just amazing. And so definitely a huge void in this space now because
Yes.
she was definitely a one who educated you.
Yes.
And I love that she shared her story because she showed us how just get started.
Yeah.
She
And
showed us,
even her story, she got started in the chemo chair at a hospital while fighting cancer. And she literally with a phone, no laptop, no iPad.
It wasn't even a smartphone, was it?
No, it was not. No, it was not.
And she got started and built a
From there.
multi-million-dollar business
that is still operating today.
That is still operating, girl. Oh my gosh.
And she's been gone since August of 2020.
Wow. Yeah, I remember the day that the public got the news. And I was just like, it felt like a sister had died.
Yes.
You know, even though I didn't get a chance to meet her in person, but just having conversation with her in the DMs or whatnot, just the impact that she made.
And what y'all don't even realize is she had been in the hospital since July. She had been in the hospital 3 weeks, almost 4 weeks. Nobody realized it because she was still sending out emails. She was still posting. I think 2 days before she had passed, she sent an email out to her list and had it was Starbucks on her. So all you had to do was show the card and you could have gotten Starbucks. She was still doing, like, literally when she actually passed and we were like getting all of her things, we had to wait for them to release her laptop from the hospital. Yeah, she was still, so, you know, and I have to get onto myself because there are times, first of all, we're human, right? And things will happen and it will cause you to have that gut punch, right? And you're like having to reset and you feel like defeated. You feel depleted. You feel like you don't want to work anymore and you want to just crawl up in the bed and just do nothing. And I've done that. And then it will hit me. She worked until she didn't let anything.
And her name still speaks. You know
She's
what I mean?
Spoken of in rooms even to this day.
Yeah, and it's just I think about her. I was on her list, and I was one of the ones that got that Starbucks, that coffee. And when the news broke, I was like, wow, because that 2020 was that year that was just because it was her. It was something about her, Chadwick,
Yep,
and Kobe.
Yep.
Their work ethic. It was like looking at those three. Those are perfect examples for me of living on purpose.
On purpose. And she definitely did that. And she taught me so much. Like she would call me or be texting me at 4 a.m, 5 a.m, which would be 3 a.m her time because she was an hour behind me. And I'm like, how is your brain working this early in the morning? And she's like, and I know you're the only one who's gonna respond to me. So I'm just gonna, and literally she would send me in text messages, notes. I still refer to her text message notes to this day. And then the beauty of it all is she left me her laptop. She told her brother, don't take anything off it, not even the password. Give her the password. So I've got all of her trainings. I've got all the courses she took, as well as the courses she wrote.
Goodbye. We can end the podcast right here. No, just kidding.
But then here's the thing. I had that laptop 6 months and was scared to open it. I still barely use it. I'm on my HP. That laptop is over in the room.
You got the cheat code.
I do.
Got the cheat code. You got the whole master key. That's like you you got the key to the pearly gates, girl. If you don't open up that laptop, she just you up to succeed. But you know what? That's amazing, because that's what a great coach and leader will do.
Yep.
You know, you pass.
Here's the thing. This is how I know God is real. And forgive me for those who are not faith-based believers.
Girl, they on the charger station. They know they're gonna get a prayer after all this. They know. Don't talk about Jesus.
I'm just saying. My birthday was March 12th. Okay. I have an event, and I know we'll talk about that in a little bit, but I have an event coming up in May. And on my birthday, so every day I do meditation, prayer, whatever you want to call it, a moment, but at 5 p.m. every day for 5 minutes. And during my 5 p.m. moment, I said, you know, I'm struggling with it's so much work. First of all, it's my first in-person live event. I've never put on an event like this before. So I didn't know the work that goes into it. And then on the flip side of doing the work for the event, you also got to get ticket sales, right? And it becomes overwhelming. And I said, God, I need a sign. Just give me a sign to let me know that it's going to be all right. This is my birthday. Here's the thing. I have been looking for outfits for the event, right? And I would send myself text messages with links for the different outfits so I could go back and find them, right? I am doing a search in my phone for the links that I sent to myself. Cece's text message pops up. Cece been gone since 2020. I have not looked at a text message from her since then. It's not that just her text message popped up. It popped up of a particular text message we had March 17th of 2020.
That's a very special day, by the way. Well, keep going.
Is that your birthday?
That's my birthday.
Wow. Okay, so the text message was from March 17th, 2020. And she had sent me a text and said, I need a new journal, so I'm creating one. And my response was, do you need a new journal? Because she was the journal queen. She had all the journals you can think of. And she said, yes. And she sent me the PDF. The name of my event is Mind Your Business Weekend.
Girl, don't you say it. I know what journal you about to say, because I got it on my shelf. I know what journal you about to say. Hold on.
No,
y'all,
you don't have it.
Y'all watching? Wait a minute. Y'all watching? I want you to brace yourself right now. If you're listening, brace yourself right now. Because you know how we talk about God nods? Here we go. What's the name of that journal?
Minding My Business. I don't even think she ever released it. She sent me the entire PDF. It's over 100 and some odd page, and it's called Minding My Business.
Yeah, she didn't release that one. I got the other one.
She didn't release it. She didn't release it because she started it in, like I said, she sent it to me May 17th. That was just before or just after they shut everything down with COVID. So nobody was in operation. So she couldn't get it printed. Everything was completely shut down everywhere. And then she passed in August. So but I have it right here, right now, the whole completed Journal. It's called Minding My Business. My event is Mind Your Business Weekend. I don't even remember having this conversation with her until I looked at the text feed. I sent her brother a text and said, prepare your mind. And then he wrote back and said, oh no, what? And I was like, I think your sister just gave me a birthday gift. So you know that journal is going to be printed to be available at my event, right? You know that, right?
It better be, because I know that journal is bad.
It is.
Because if she created stuff, because she was known for that, creating stuff that she needed and couldn't find, she would just create it. Girl, wow. Come through, Lord. Come through.
So, and I literally said,
now.
I just need a sign because things aren't where it's like, it's almost like a switch was flipped. Like things were just flowing in sales and this, and then everything just stopped. And I was listening to somebody recently and they were like, if you're going through something like that, what is it, the lesson that you need to learn that you're going through? And I think for me, I think the lesson was a level of humility. Because even though I was getting to a point, I don't feel like I was like, yes, honey, this is me. But at the same time, I would kind of be like, if I did it, you do it. Sometimes people need a little bit more than that. Yeah. You can't just give them. I remember Cece would come to town. We would always meet up in Atlanta before I moved here. Or if we were at some conference that she had to speak, I would be with her and we, go and have dinner. No matter where we went, she always carried cash because no matter where she saw someone, if they were begging or asking for money or out on the side, she always, no matter what, she passed the money. No, she was such a giver. And I remember saying to her one day, how you know they're not going to the liquor store to go buy a fifth while you keep giving them money? And she was like, that's not my place to judge. I gave from the goodness of my heart and I gave it to, once I give it to them, what they do with it, that's on them.
That's on them.
And not one person have I ever seen her. She always remained humble, always. There's stories we found out about after she was gone. People saying that she paid their lights to get their lights turned back on. We're sending email. We were like, her brother was the person who actually released the money from her account and didn't know.
Wow. And
so I knew my lesson is that level of humility. I needed that. I've learned. I learned, Lord. You can stop teaching me now. I'm good.
And it opens up a level of trust as well, because like you said, this is your first event. You've never put it on. So it's a faith walk and it's a level of trust that God is going to be there for you and he's going to exceed what you can ask, think, or imagine. So whatever you're feeling right now, like, it's, girl, look, just get ready. That's all I'm saying. It's just, he's going to exceed what you even thought it would be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when it's done, you're going to look back and like, wow, God, you did that. So that should be the first thing to say, God, you did that.
Showed out, God. Like, this how you want to act right now? This how you want to
do?
This you just want to show out like that?
All the way. I'm here for it. I love it when he shows out like that. It's like chef's kiss. Go ahead, God. But I'm so proud of you for starting and then getting to this place, because I know it's not easy.
Yeah.
And you've had some major wins this year. You want to talk about a couple of those wins?
Oh, you mean like the Maya thing?
Yes. I'm surprised. Look, I'm surprised you don't have.
She's out there. She's out there.
I'm surprised you don't have her behind you and her brother.
She's out there. She's out there in the living room. So that was another part of the CCism. So in 2020, I believe it was like January, she had said to me, you need to go to this event. And she was telling me to go to Maya's Impact Weekend. And I was like, oh God, I can't afford that. That's out of my pay grade right now. And she was like, I really think you need to go. Well, that's when the rumbling started happening about COVID, but we hadn't heard too much. Plus, for me, At the time, I was living in Durham, North Carolina, and I was getting ready to transition here to Atlanta. So in January, I had come to Atlanta to find my space, and then my lease was up March 10th. And I think at the time, Impact Weekend was like the last weekend of the month, I think at the time, in February. So it was just a lot. So between the price and then trying to move and all of the above, I opted out to go. And then when she passed, she knew she was passing and didn't tell us. So she left instructions and sent an email and scheduled it to go out after the fact. So imagine she passed on Thursday, 6-something a.m. And imagine on Friday, you get an email from CC Gunn.
That's so CC though.
It is so CC, okay? But in her instructions, she had left for me to contact 6 women and let them know personally what had happened before we put it out there on social media. And that was my task. Once again, CC was CCing. She knew I was now by myself and she wanted me to be connected with certain ones. Wow. And Maya was one of those 6, Ashley Ann, Bianca Shelley Robinson from Kate & Kate Consulting, Amber Aziza, Mess in a Bottle, Lord, I can't think of her name, her first name right now, from Mess in a Bottle, and I'm forgetting one person for whatever reason. But anyway, these women, first of all, except for I had some communication with Ashley because I had been introduced to her through CC in person once before. And then Bianca, CC actually brought us together. So these 2 people I knew, I could reach out to them and get them the information. Everybody else I didn't. So imagine me trying to DM these people and saying, hey, I need to get some information to you. Can you please call my number? Can I have your number? And for whatever reason, nobody was hesitant. You know, if you get a DM and it goes to that spam folder, you're not giving out your number, and you're definitely not calling.
Who are you?
For whatever reason, everybody contacted me and say, hey, what's going on? And then I gave them the information and they all just rallied around me. Well, fast forward a couple months later, I sent my text and said, oh God, I forgot CC had told me to go to your event this year and I couldn't afford it. And I sent her the screenshot. Maya gifted me a ticket to go for 2021. So I go to Impact Weekend 2021. I signed up for her accelerator program. And that was in February. And again, stepping out on faith because woo.
Yeah.
Woo. Okay. But yeah, I stepped out on faith and I had my first 5-figure month. The thing that CC kept saying, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. And I had my 5-figure launch. So actually I had my first 5-figure month. So she passed in August. I had it in October because I said, she had told me 2020 was going to be my year of making my first 5 figures in a month. And I was like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. And she had actually told me it would be my 6-figure year. And then I was maybe $8,000 away from it and got scared and stopped selling. Cause I was like, cause what happens when you hit 6 figures? You can't go back to 5.
You can't go back to 5. I mean, and that's the thing. What a lot of people don't realize, like, especially if you're on these internet streets, everybody's trying to hit 6 figures. Everybody's trying to hit 6 figures. When you hit that thing, it's like, whoa, wait.
Now what?
You actually become a different person.
Yeah.
Because your mind is stretched.
Yeah.
And you cannot go back to that version that you were before.
Yeah.
And then it's like, yo, okay, we're on a different level. The playing field is different. So I get why you stopped. I did the same thing. I did the exact same thing. And I get why you stopped because we have these dreams and these goals, but it's something about when you're close to reaching them. Whew.
Not only that, so think about it this way. When you reach your destination, you've now arrived. You got to have a whole new destination, right?
Yes.
So now I've worked so hard, and I'm here. Now what?
Yeah.
And then it's like, And it's not like I can say, oh, I've reached it, let's just start all over and get here again. No, you got to keep going. And that is scary.
It is very scary. It is very scary, but we have to get to a point where we are doing things afraid. And just a sidebar, my therapist has been getting on me because I'm very goal oriented, very driven. And so I don't celebrate in that moment. So I'll reach a goal and be like, all right, on to the next, boop, boop, on to the next. And then they're so funny because they'll say, all right, let's go down the greatest hits, because I feel like I'm not accomplishing anything. Yeah. So it's taking other people to say, girl, you realize that you did this, you did this, you did this, you did this. Like today, I got an email from Amazon Music about my podcast. And I was like, you heard about me? And then my best friend was like, do you realize that you have you're in 60 something countries and over 10,000 people are listening to you every week, right? Why wouldn't Amazon Music hear you? And I was like, you're right. The thought of it, we get caught up in, okay, I reached this goal because my goal was to get the downloads. My goal was, and actually Amazon Music is one of the spaces that I wanted the podcast on. But I was so busy trying to get to this spot, it didn't even dawn on me. So I'm chasing after something. In reality, a lot of times things are chasing us. Yeah. But we're so busy running, we're not even realizing that it's stuff that's chasing after us. God says goodness and mercy will follow us all the days of our lives. So Absolutely. Why are we acting like we don't deserve this? Yeah. And I mean, I get there's a level of humility that we have to have, but we are children of the Most High God. Yeah. Why do we feel like we don't deserve the spaces that we're in? And you are in some amazing spaces, ma'am. I'm sorry. You just are. You just are.
Yeah, and I've learned, I'm so grateful, people, we don't feel like we're worthy of it, right? The fact that I can pick up the phone and just call certain ones and just literally I will call them and just say, hey, how you doing? Again, being at Maya's event, one of her guest speakers was Terry Ijeoma that I met through Amber. And, Terry has invited me to her home in Puerto Rico. And, when she was here, she invited me over and so I'm with Terry, helping her get things together because she's doing photo shoots. And I'm just looking at how the crowds are just trying, literally there was a line of people waiting to talk to her. And I'm going,
access. Mm-hmm.
And then the thing that I've actually said this verbally out loud to someone, not even just talking to me, saying it to someone. How did I become special enough to be in this circle of people?
Ooh, girl. Favor.
Not just to be in the circle, but to be embraced by, to be for Connie to just jump on one of my lives one day, just to jump on. And then she's like, well, I'll come to your event.
And that was a good live too. And even on that live, I don't think, if you remember, I commented, girl, that's favor.
You did.
That's favor. That is favor. And I'm not going to say favor isn't fair, because it is. It's fair to those who embrace it. And as long as you keep embracing the favor, it's going to keep coming to you.
Yeah. But the to kind of encapsulate everything we've been saying, the one thing that I've learned is you got to pay to be in the room. I paid to be in CC's space. Through that, we developed a relationship. And even in that relationship, I still paid for her services. Now, don't get me wrong. It was nothing for her to call me and be like, hey, I think you should have done this, and this in your post. Or she might text me and say, let me know what your goals are for the week and how you plan on it. So I still had that, but when she had a class and I was interested in it, I would pay for that class. Or she had a journal, I would buy that journal, right? And then because I was with her, then I met Ashley and Bianca. And then because of that, I Amber. Amber introduces me to Connie and Terry, but I had to pay to be in the space. And the one thing that I fear for most of us when we're starting out, we want so many things to be free, 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 or so low cost. And then you want so much from it. You know, I've had people send me DMs and we will literally back and forth DMs for 2, 3, 4 days for a 1-hour session. And do I get this? And do I get that? And do I? And I'm just like,
doesn't work that way.
my favorite though is, why would I pay you when I can just Google or YouTube it?
Go ahead. And you can.
Here's my
But
thing.
you're in my DM.
Here's my thing. And I say it all the time to my clients. I say it when I go live. Here's the thing about Google and YouTube. You don't know what you don't know until you know that you didn't know it.
Yes. And by that time, it's probably too late.
You don't even know what, like, I just did a soap making class for maybe about 2 weeks ago, and I'm doing another one in a couple weeks. And one of the videos that I recorded before we did the live class, my pre-recorded video was a prep on how to get their ingredients ready, right? And I literally showed them that before you start measuring, put your item on the scale, then turn it on so it'll zero out. Because guess what? I YouTubed and Googled. Nobody told me that. So I would turn the scale on, put my bowl on there. The bowl has its own weight.
Ah, that's smart.
Then you got to add whatever that ingredient. So now I'm trying to figure out, how do I subtract the weight of this bowl from the amount that I'm supposed to put? And it just was and your measurements were never right. Something that small, right? But I didn't know I'm supposed to Google, how do you measure this the right way? You don't know what you don't know until you know you didn't know it.
Mm-hmm. And then you don't have that personalized interaction with Google or YouTube. You can, when you have somebody that's a coach that has already walked that path, that's the thing.
I've done it.
When we've walked that path and we've done it, then we can show you the cheat code. We can show you
and save you so much time. Yes, you might do research and you may eventually get there, but why get there in 6 months when you could get there in 60 minutes?
Right. Right. You got a whole coach right here who can steer you the right way. Who can say, no, I made that error. Like, this is what you don't want to do.
Yep.
And here's are you finding, like, for me, on my coaching side, I get people in my DMs all the time. And I'm like, I cannot coach you, especially in the area that I'm in. I can't coach you in the DMs. So when I say schedule a consultation, the consultations are free. I don't hear anything else from them. Are you finding that? And that right there lets me know you're not ready.
A lot of times, so I used to do that and I didn't hear anything. And then I would say, schedule a free consultation. And they'll jump on it then when they know it's free up front. However, they're trying to get so much out of you in that free consultation so that by the time you make an offer, they don't want to buy anything from you. But there's one little thing that it started me to tweak my conversations even when I'm offering my free. And the question is, before we move forward, are you in a position today to make a decision to act today?
Yeah.
If not, that's totally okay. We can reschedule this for when you're ready. And I say, not 90 days from now, not 6 months from now. Are you in a position to, if you tell me your problem and I tell you I can solve your problem and this is how, are you in a position to make that decision today? If not, no hard feelings, we will move on.
And I want people to understand too, it's not just a financial investment that you're investing when you work in someone. It's a whole mindset investment. It's a time investment. You are investing in your future. You are investing in you. So if you're not ready, that's okay. We're not going to judge you or cast you out because you're not ready. Because guess what? At one point we weren't.
I wasn't ready. Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
baby, when you get ready
Absolutely.
and you can see, what was it Maya said? Maya was like, you have to get to a point where you are afraid of what your life will look like without the investment. And
Absolutely.
starting to think like that, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Because this right here is not working for me. It served its purpose, but it's not working. I want
Mm-hmm.
more.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. You are just, girl. I knew I liked you when I saw you in the accelerator. So Dionne and I were in Maya Elias's Built to Impact Accelerator program. We're not even going to talk about the gems that we got up in there.
Yeah.
But my gosh, a
Yeah.
blessing, a blessing. So let's talk about this lovely event that you have coming up. Tell me how you came up with the concept of it and what made you take the leap now to do this now.
So initially, this was 2019. I had come up with the concept of doing an event, and I wanted it to be me, myself, and 3 other young ladies. We were going to put the event together. And so we started like brainstorming. We would do these weekly meetings, and we were going to start putting things together. And we were going to have the event. I believe we had said we were going to do it in March of 2020. And you know,
yeah,
COVID.
Miss Rona
And
showed
so,
up. Yeah.
yeah, so when COVID happened, everybody kind of dropped off. And Cece was still talking to me about it even then, though. So when I first came up with the idea, she was like, oh, I think this is great. You should put this on. And then when everybody dropped off, she kept encouraging me. This was your brainchild. Just keep going. Just, just keep putting it together. And I was like, I don't think anybody wants to see just me. Again, that imposter syndrome. I felt like everybody, if I had these people surrounding me, they would come and just kind of, because I'm tossed in there, they would see me. And Cece was like, no, keep putting it together. And then after she passed, I started talking about it again. And my audience was like, do it. We want to, I want to see it. We want to be there, all of the above. And then so I just kind of kept going from there and starting putting it together. And then when I was coming up with a name, literally, it was the first name that, like, it's not like I have a page of names or things like that I came up with. And I was like, vote on this one. Literally, the name that came to my head was Mind Your Business Weekend. And it was like a double entendre. You need to mind your business, but you also need to mind the business that pays you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you mind your business the right way, your business will reward you for it, right? And so that's why I put it together and I called it Mind Your Business Weekend, and it just kind of took off from there.
I love it because it has a little sassiness to it.
It does, because you're like, what? Mind my business? What?
It matches your sassy. I love it. So what can people expect at this event?
So you can expect not only just hours and hours of life-changing training, but you're going to walk away with how to market your business the right way, whether that is the digital space or the retail space. You're going to learn how to protect your business and set your business up for capital and funding and protect it from, any infringement and getting things trademarked. You're going to learn how to create content that converts into dollars. So it's one thing that, I used to tell my clients all the time, you just putting up a post because today is Tuesday and you haven't put up a post. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just, and then you wonder why you might get one like and nothing else, right? You need to know how to create that content that converts into sales. And when I was looking at, even today, I was looking at my sales, and my content has converted into over 45% of the sales that I got this month. 45%.
Come on.
So, wow. And then people think content is just an Instagram post. They don't realize content is emails, blog posts, reels, social media. Like, content is content is content is content. And if you're not doing it the right way, you're not going to get anything back from it. And then the last thing we're going to teach you is how to know when it's time to pivot in your business and pivot the right way. Sometimes that means changing the whole model. Sometimes that means going from making the soap to teaching how to make the soap. That's a pivot too. And people are afraid of that as well. Like, why would somebody want to learn from me? I just do it because I know how to do it. That's why they want to learn,
That's
right?
why. Because there's somebody out there that doesn't know how to do it.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And so those are some of the things that you'll be learning. There will be giveaways. There's going to be fun. There's the networking. That's one of the things I used to love before COVID shut everything down, was going to these retreats or business events and just meeting people that you like engage with so much on social media. And now they're in your presence. You can ask them questions. They can ask you questions. You can see how you guys can work together. Like all of the above. The networking is going to be phenomenal. And I just can't wait.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this. And just to, just a little sidebar, seeing you work behind the scenes and how much blood, sweat, tears, love that you've put into this, the excellence that's coming out of this. I'm like, girl, you better do it. I'm just cheering for you.
Literally 15 minutes before I got on this live with you today, I was with the DJ for the event. Like, I think my phone, it was 6:38. I was like, oh God, what time is it? And he's trying to show me, and we need to do this and we need to do that. And I'm going, I got a podcast at 7 o'clock. I gotta go. So it's like, it's a lot of that behind the scenes work, but my mom has always been the one that would be like, it's excellence. We do this in the spirit of excellence. That's how she said that. So although it's my first, it's not gonna look like janky promoters, okay?
And it's not.
It won't.
And it won't. Because it's just, like I said, the love that you're putting into it. I don't think people realize it's work, but you're creating something beautiful.
Yeah.
And you're creating something that is leaving a legacy.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm just so proud of you. Just so proud of you.
Thank you. I'm so glad you're going to be here for this. So
look, I told you, because I know how hard it is. I know how hard it is. I'm like, whatever you need.
Yeah,
you need me to help do something, I'm there. And that's just me, because I'm like, we are, it's a small community when you think about it. Yeah. It's a real small community. And so whatever we can do to help each other out, like collaboration over competition. Who am I competing with? Nobody.
Yeah.
So, all right. I like to do a fast round, lightning round with all of our guests. All right. I'm pulling up my questions, so if I'm looking down, forgive me.
Okay.
And the lightning round is just quick questions. I want you to answer as fast as you can without thinking. And we're just going to have a little fun, okay?
Okay.
All right. Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Sunset or sunrise?
Sunrise, definitely.
90s R&B or 2000s R&B?
90s.
Come on, the good music. The good music. Who's your favorite couple on 90 Day Fiancé?
90 Day Fiancé. Well, which one? We got so many. You mean this season?
Out of all of them. Out of all of them. Just pick one.
You know what? Big Ed cracks me up, because when you that short with no neck and the level of confidence.
Listen.
And the crazy part is he gets young, good looking girls. And I'm like,
Big Ed is pulling them. He is pulling them left and right. And I'm like, how? With his mayonnaise in his hair. How, Sway? Big Ed. I think my favorite couple, I think I have two. Armando and, what is his husband's name?
Yes, in Mexico.
Yes, I love those two. They were so sweet. And they're not a couple, but they used to date, but they're friends now. They're on Pillow Talk. Veronica and
yes.
What is
they used to be engaged.
Yes, they used to be engaged, but those two are my favorite because
they crack me up. They crack me up.
They are hilarious.
They're great. Yeah.
So would you ever be a 90 Day Fiancé?
No.
Like, would you date somebody overseas? I thought about it.
Mm-mm. I struggled with dating somebody when I was in Orlando and they were in Miami. I know
Oh,
I'm not going.
wait, that's across the street. So a foreign country is a no.
No. At least when I was in Orlando and he was in Miami, I could get in my car. It's a 3-hour trip. You know, it's good. Now I
Yeah,
got to wait months or,
yeah,
every, no.
yeah.
And
I thought
especially the ones that have the language barriers. I don't see how they do it. They got to have the little translator app. That's too much. And even
that's
the
too much.
translator app might misinterpret a word or two.
And then
I
you having a
can't.
whole falling out. Yeah, that part I would not want to do because I actually had somebody who was from Haiti who was trying to holler at your girl, and I was like, we can't even talk to each other. I can't do this, and I tried, like, just no, it got on my
Yeah.
nerves.
Yeah.
Movies or music?
Music. I'm music all day.
I can see that because you were getting it at Impact
Yeah,
Weekend.
I'm music all
Like,
day. Like I love good movies too, but like I'll bring up music that you'll be like, oh, I forget all of. I'm like, I tell people I'm really a DJ. I just don't have DJ in front of my name.
the playlist. Then I'm looking forward to this playlist at Mind Your Business Weekend.
Baby.
Don't judge me if I twerk because you've seen me in action.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything else you would like our audience to know?
I would like for you to know if you are wanting to be at Mind Your Business Weekend, because by now I know that you are. You can go to mindyourbusinessweekend.com and you can register there. It is scheduled, it is happening May 12th through the 14th here in Atlanta, Georgia. We're going to have a Thursday night meet and greet. And it's not your typical average meet and greet where everybody's sitting around with a drink in their hand and a small plate and just hoping somebody to. No, we're going to have some fun. We're going to have some giveaways. We're going to get y'all to network with each other and connect. And then the 2 days of training where you're networking. Y'all, if you don't want to be there for anything else, you want to be there for the surprise guest that is coming for the event.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to say on that. The surprise guest alone is going to make the weekend for you. If you have any doubt, the surprise guests are why you want to be there. Okay. But yeah, go ahead and get your tickets now and register, because Mind Your Business Weekend is going to be a life-changing experience, not an event, an experience. You're going to change your business after this event.
Yes. So tell everyone where they can find you and how they can stay connected.
You can find me on all the socials, but I'm primarily on Instagram. I'm starting to learn TikTok a little bit. My coaching page is B-I-Z, Biz Coaching by Dionne, and that's D-I-O-N-N-E, 2 N's. Or my product page is Body Essence by Dionne.
And we will link all of that information down in the show notes and in the comments. If you're watching here on YouTube, we get you connected. Make sure you go buy up this body butter. Make sure you go get your tickets to Mind Your Business Weekend.
Yes.
We will be twerking and working and faithing it up, honey.
Working and working. I love it.
We're going to do all that. Dionne, I am so thankful to have you here with us and spending time out of your busy schedule with the Charter Station fam. I appreciate you and love you so much, and so proud of you. Excited about what God is doing, honey. All that favor. Let me get your garment to get some of that favor, girl.
I'm gonna rub hands with you or something. Thank you so much for today. I appreciate it.
Anytime. And I got to have you back because we have to have a recap of Mind Your Business Weekend.
That would be awesome. Yes. Oh, that would be perfect. Let's do it.
I got you, boo. I got you.
All right.
Guys. So until next time, remember, God loves you. I love you. It ain't nothing you can do about it, boo. Boo. Bye, y'all.
Have a good one.
All right. Don't hang up. Recording. Stop. Yes.